welcome to this virtual live session that is dedicated now to the model search functionality of our tool. So today I will show the most of the basic functionality using version 11.0 of the latest released sprint, and using this set of projects in my workspace, where there's simple projects. First is Hello World example. Another one is the traffic light slightly modified to be controlled over TCP connection. And the third one is the library project that actually provides that functionality to connect to RT models using TCP. It can be exported from the libraries menu. Okay, so let's get down to the search. First of all, let me introduce you the main tool when you want to search something. This is a search field. This is just a second. Yep. So you can see it on the bottom of your Eclipse. This is a search field that you can use to enter some search term, for example, hello. Yeah, and you can use your keyboard to initiate the search or the search button. You also can use this eraser button to clear the search field if you don't need that text. And also there is a search menu attached to the search button that provides you some more functionality, more control over search. We'll talk about that later. And also you could notice that there is a suggestion pop-up as you type. So, for example, when I type tier A, I get this pop-up with my previous search strings on the top of the list, and most frequent search terms are actually model element names on the bottom. So this traffic light component, traffic light capsule, and traffic light attribute, I believe. So you can choose between them to search, or you can just press enter to use your current input. Okay. Yeah. Now let's take a look at what you get as a result of the search. Let's search for a string external. And here is the search view that contains the matches matches from the model. So in the header, you can see the summary of your search term, options that were used by this search, verbatim search, case insensitive. The workspace is a scope of it. So we are searching in all the projects in our workspace, and there are 23 matches found. So here are these matches. The match column shows you the actual match, actual string highlighted with bold font that matched your search. And also, for example, for code snippets, it also shows you some context of this match, some words around this match. So you can have at least some idea on what is around that found substring. Okay, then the next column is the kind. this is a search kind of these particular matches. We support basically 5 kinds of matches. First is model element, when we match a name of some model element, the port in this case. Then we have matches in code, and you can also see the additional information on what kind of code, the entry of state or effect of transition. Then we have match kind called diagram text. So this is we found a match on some text on diagram. Also, there are some matches in transformation configuration, and now you don't see it, but it is possible to get the match kind called comment. So if you find something in your model comment, it will be shown here. And also there is a special kind of match kind, the reference. So for example, this is a port definition, external port named external, and we have a reference to it. This is a transition trigger. If we switch to transition, we can see that this event, named event, that triggers this transition relates to this external port. So we have a reference to this port. And likewise, we can have, for example, references on diagram, like element presenting, well, a shape representing some model element. And usually references are attached to their definitions, like here, the reference to that external port goes right after it. But for example, here we have a match in external protocol, and this protocol is defined in our library. So we do not show the match, the protocol itself, just references to it. Okay. Then what can we do with search results? I think if you use Eclipse text search, you're familiar with removing search results. So if you are not interested in some of the results, you can easily select them and press this cross button or delete to get rid of them. Another nice possibility is to search to sort search results. Well, for you can search using each column that is shown. It doesn't make much sense to sort according to match, because sometimes it's just an external string, sometimes it's the code snippet itself. So you don't get the some meaningful order for that for the match sorting. But for example, when you sort by the kind column, you get the neat grouping of your search results according to their kinds. So here we have code, references, model, one single model element, and DC settings. Another nice feature with that you can use with search results is the filtering. For example, I only interested in code matches. In this case, I can use this edit filter button and type code string. And after that, I will get only code-related matches in my search results view. Another possibility is to filter out something. So, for example, if I don't want to if I don't care about matches in if condition, if statement, I can use the match filter, type exclamation mark, and then string if. So not if. And it will filter out all the matches that contain if substring. So this is very useful when you initially have too many matches and you want to narrow them down. Then you can configure what I can do with this search results view is you can display different set of columns. So apart from match and kind, we support resource column, long name, and modified timestamp. So the resource column contains the resource URI of the resource containing the match. So here these are all these matches in this single model file. Long name displayed fully qualified name for the matches. Let me reset these filters to get more matches. So we can see different qualified names, and looking at them, you can easily locate them in, well, get the idea of the place in the model hierarchy. And finally, the modification timestamp of resource containing the batch. So let me reset my view to its initial state. So you can use you can do that by using this restore defaults button. You will get only match and kind columns. Now let's talk about navigation from search results. So we cannot provide all the needed information in this single view. So you usually will need to go to locate somehow the search results in your model. And the most obvious way is double clicking on matches. This action triggers so-called default navigation action. For example, for the model element match, double clicking will select this model element in the project explorer, and also the properties view is updated. This functionality is turned on by default. Or you can right click on the search match and use this navigate menu to select other possibilities. So for example, you can open a diagram containing this model element. It is highlighted with this green outline, yellow-green outline. Or this last option is to show in properties view when you do not have option turned on by default, when that makes your properties in sync with search results. For references, there are two actions related to the project explorer. You can navigate to it to the referenced element itself, or to the element it references. For the code matches, the default action is to open the code editor, and you can see that the match is already highlighted, so you can easily locate it. And other options are selecting Project Explorer in Diagram and in Properties view. And for diagrams, for diagram text, obviously this opens the diagram. And for transformation configuration related matches, you will get the TC editor open with the code tab with code tab active, because we're kind of using text-based searching in the new TCGS. And also you can select this TC in the Project Explorer. Well, one more another useful feature with search is that sometimes you just don't know the exact string you want to search. For example, you can search for something starting with some prefix and ending with some suffix. So you have anything in between. For example, I know that my model element starts with string tre. I can use star to specify any substring, and it ends with GHT. So this will search, this will find all these strings like traffic light and so on. Likewise, I can, if I know that there are two variables appear in some particular order in my code, I can find them. For example, enter, then star and const. Another type is that question mark. That means any character. So probably it can be useful. I don't know, in case when you have, for example, int or uint or sint or something like that. Well, or for example, well, I don't know, probably you have some constant with numeric suffix. Then there is one useful feature in Eclipse search that we also support. This is, let me switch to that slide. Yeah, this is a search history. So you can use this button called Show Previous Searches and its menu to navigate to your recent searches. And as a result, you can select any of them, and you will get search results, and it will be much faster than to search again. And as you might see, there are also entries in this history that contain this filtering. So remember, I was searching for code snippets without if. So here it is. I can easily get that filtered results again without need to modify filters manually. Then the feature that usually comes hand in hand with search is replace. So you can search for something and then you can replace. First, you can type well. You can, for example, you want to replace word start with word begin. In this case, you can select replace item from the search menu, having that start in the search field. It will first it will show you all the matches with this start word, and also it will pop up the search and replace dialog, where you can specify what would you want to replace with. For example, string begin in this case, and then you can either replace all the matches one by one by pressing replace button, or skip if you don't want to replace this particular match. By the way, you have this match in the editor. Also, you can replace all of them in one go, or if you changed your mind, you can undo previous replaces and well, start over again, or cancel this process completely. Another possibility is to use this replacing selected items button. You can select some of the matches and press this button to get the same dialog, but only for items you selected. So let's switch back to my agenda. Yeah, now it's time to take a look at other search-related commands in our tool. So first of them is the search dialog. I think most of you are familiar with that. This is well, a legacy from the older versions of RSRT, but still it is fully functional. We can use the menu or keyboard shortcut to open this search model search dialog. So here we have the edit field for entering search terms, and also there are plenty of different options on how you want to tweak your search process. You can control case sensitivity. You can search for whole words. You can switch between verbatim and non-verbatim search. You can select what kind of element you search for. Either it is some kind of model elements or text in model and code and comments and so on. Also, you can control the scope of it and change the limit for search matches. And of course, there is an option for replacing. Then the next interesting command is find named element. Well, it is rather navigation command. So, for example, you want to navigate to some model element that you know the kind of the prefix of it. You can open this find named element dialog and start typing. For example, as I type TRA, it shortly gives me these matches with attribute package and capsule, and I can select any of the one that I'm interested in and navigate to it. And of course, I can limit my search to some particular kind of model elements. Then another useful command is find triggers. So this command can be applied to a port, an event, or trigger operation to find triggers related to that one. So, for example, we can select this control port, right click, and in find menu there is find triggers command. So here are the transitions that are related to this control port. Another, well, kind of similar command is find triggering events. This command is applicable for a state machine, or a capsule. So let's start with capsule. Here are all the events that are used in the context of this capsule. If I use the same command, for example, on some state, I guess I will have slightly different results, like slightly limited result. So there are less events that I used in this particular state. Then another one command that is related to composite structure. If I click on a port, there is find connected ports command. It is very useful when you have a lot of ports, a lot of connections, and you just want to see what other ports are, well, other ends of the communication that this port is involved to. So I will execute this command. It prompts me whether I'm interested in traversing these relay ports, ports that just pass through all the events. And in this model, I get only one match. It's not a very sophisticated model. It is immediately highlight or open in a diagram at highlight. So if you have more items, you can select them to highlight. And well, finally, very useful command, or feature is the incremental search in diagrams. So if I have this diagram open, I can press Ctrl G on my keyboard. You can see that on the bottom there is this indicator that incremental find mode is active, and then I can type some characters. For example, now I type TR. You can see it, well, slightly cropped, but, and it highlights all the matches of this TR substring on the current diagram. The first match, like current match, is slightly darker, and I can press Ctrl J again to cycle through all the matches. This can give you better, well, allow you to find the match more easily, at least on some sophisticated, on some complicated diagrams. Yeah, I can continue to type to have traffic, or if I made a typo, I can press the backspace to delete previously entered character. Okay, now let's switch to some advanced topics. And first of them is this non-verbatim search. So by default, you're using when you search using this field, using search field control, you will do the verbatim search. So it will search for exactly the string that you enter. For example, if you have something like this, it will search. It will find this this substring that enter1 plus const 7. And obviously, if you will modify your search like enter1 const 7 separated by the space, it won't find anything because there is no such substring in my model. But sometimes it's very useful to search for several disjoint terms, words. In this case, we can launch search preferences and uncheck this use verbatim search option, and try to search again for the same terms. And you can see that all the matches of both substrings are highlighted. And for example, if you get exactly the same string somewhere in your model, even with this non-verbatim search, it will highlight it as a single match. So that is kind of the best match. But well, sometimes it can be a bit misleading, because for example, in this case, it actually search for anything containing enter1 and const 7 and plus sign. And here you have matches only with plus sign. So sometimes it can be a bit misleading. But nevertheless, in some cases, it is very useful. Then in some cases, you would want to limit your search to some subset of your workspace. By default, the scope is the workspace, so your search is you're searching for something in all the projects in your workspace. But if you know, for example, that your match is in some project, you can use the project as a scope. Select the project you want to search in, and type this search term. So it just found. Let me open this resource column. Yeah, it showed matches from this Hello World project that I selected. You can also use some element and as a search scope. And in this case, for example, you can select this top capsule and use the server as a search term, and it finds only this attribute that is defined in this capsule and references to it. Then you can use the a working set as the search scope. You can launch the working set configuration from here. For example, currently I have this my workspace configured to be 2 projects. And my matches are from both of them, but not from Hello World. And yeah, you can see that there is an option that you don't see in the tool, the external projects. So this is the next topic of our advanced search-related functionalities. So basically, in Eclipse, you have that workspace, and usually you work with projects that are in your workspace. But for example, in some cases, there are too many projects, and you to be loaded in a single workspace, you want to operate to do something on them. And we have the support for external projects. Let me launch the search preferences. There is a link to external projects configuration page. The one option is just to specify a project, a folder that contains all of your projects. Probably your Git repository can be a good candidate for that. And then there is this workspace and external projects option, scope option available. I will select it. And again, search for log. And let's take a look. Well, there are these matches, for example, that are reported to be from the test1 project, and we don't have that project in our workspace. But double clicking on it will trigger the loading of that project into our workspace, and this match is highlighted here. Okay. Yeah, and finally, I want to say a couple of words about indexing. So our model search is index-based. We get the all the matches from Lucene-based indices, and indexing process. Well, that is to process all the models to get this information needed for Lucene search is file-based. So all the information is taken from model files, not from the memory representation of models. That means that, for example, that your editings are not immediately visible to the search. For example, I will modify this top capsule to be top 1 to 3, and I won't be able to find it now because I haven't saved the model yet. But as soon as I press save, the model is saved and indexing performed automatically. And now it is available for searching. So it is a good idea to save your model if you have a lot of changes. And, well, there is a chance that you will find something in your unsaved models. So it's a good idea to save your model.